Google and Meta teamed up for ads targeting young teens. A robotics company has 3D printed nearly 100 homes in Texas. And ChargePoint's new adapter claims to work with all EVs, regardless of make or model. It's Friday, August 9th, and this is Engadget News. Google worked with Meta to roll out ads that targeted young teens, even if it's against Google's own rules. That's according to the Financial Times. Based on the documents seen by the publication, Google worked on a marketing project designed to advertise Instagram to YouTube users within the 13 to 17-year-old age range. Google had blocked age-based ad targeting for users under 18 years ago, but the company reportedly found and used a loophole. Since they could not go for the demographic they wanted to reach, they instead targeted a group of users Google had labeled as quote-unquote unknown. The Financial Times said that Google's staff proposed the group to Meta because the company had data points to prove that a large number of users under the label are below 18 years in age. The company even reportedly told Meta that the daily engagement it gets from 13 to 17-year-old users exceeds TikTok's and Instagram's. The information says using this loophole is against Google's rules as well, since it has policies against proxy targeting. Meta and Google worked with media agency Spark Foundry to launch the marketing program in Canada between February and April. When it did well, they kicked off a trial in the U.S. in May, and had made plans to expand it to other regions as well as to include other Meta apps in the campaign. However, Google had investigated and ultimately canceled the project after being contacted by the Times, saying, "We prohibit ads being personalized to people under 18, period." It said that its safeguards worked properly in this case because it didn't directly target registered YouTube users known to be 18. That said, it did not outright deny using the loophole, and only said that it will take additional action to reinforce with sales representatives that they must not help advertisers or agencies run campaigns that attempt to work around its policies. It's taken almost 2 years, but a planned community of homes made with a gigantic 3D printer in Georgetown, Texas, is almost complete. Reuters reported that the homes, which are part of a community called Wolf Ranch, are being built with a large 3D printer called the Vulcan that's 45 feet wide and weighs nearly 5 tons. The project is part of a joint venture with the 3D printing construction developer Icon and the home construction company Lennar. It started in November 2022, and crews are close to completing its goal of building 100 homes with the Vulcan by the end of the summer. Homeowners have already started moving into some of the completed 3D printed homes that range in price from $450,000 to $600,000. More than a quarter of the homes have been sold. Icon's 3D printer uses a mixture of concrete powder, water, sand, and other materials to lay out stacks of tube-shaped concrete to construct walls and eventually a whole house. The homes are single-story dwellings with 3 to 4 bedrooms that take around 3 weeks to print. The foundation and metal roofs are made the old-fashioned way with human crews. Once printed, the walls look like giant stretches of corduroy, but they are designed to be resilient and sustainable even in extreme weather. They are also water-resistant and energy-efficient. Icon's senior project manager Connor Jenkins told Reuters that construction started with 5 different building crews, but it's since been whittled down to just 1 crew and 1 robot printer. The only downside is the thickness of the walls interferes with Wi-Fi signals. Residents have had to use mesh internet routers with broadcast signals located throughout the house instead of just a single router. Also, Icon is not just using its large-scale 3D printer to make homes on Earth. NASA is reportedly interested in using the technology to build structures on the moon for its Artemis moon exploration program, scheduled to launch its first crew in September 2025. ChargePoint has released a new EV connector designed to work with any EV, regardless of its charging architecture, without requiring drivers to have a specialized adapter. In a press release announcing the development, ChargePoint said OmniPort is designed to support vehicles that are already on the road, as well as EVs coming to market. ChargePoint said it will begin rolling out OmniPort to select new models of its AC and DC charging stations at no cost. The technology can also be retrofitted into existing ChargePoint stations at an unspecified nominal cost. To use OmniPort, customers can enter their vehicle model into the ChargePoint app or pick the appropriate connector from the charging station screen if they don't use the app. The United States doesn't have a formal standard for electric vehicle charging, but informally, Tesla's North American charging standard has become the default for many companies on the manufacturing side. ChargePoint began rolling out support for the NACS connector in 2023. Thanks for listening. There's more to these articles and additional stories at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from contributors Mariella Moon, Danny Gallagher, and Chris Holt, and was voiced and produced by me, Steve White, from Spoken Layer. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with more tech news from Engadget.